j'ai encore fermé la porte. Bonjour à tous. Bonjour à tous et bienvenue sur Kalidon Iron Golem, je suis Kalidon. Par contre, ne va absolument rien dire. Et je suis actuellement en live sur The Stanley Parable. Ah, pas contre une porte, vas-y, viens, d'accord. Je me bats contre une porte. Et
coucou.
Coucou à qui?
Coucou les viewers.
Ah,
c'est tout.
effectivement, coucou les viewers. Donc nous jouons à Stanley Parable comme avant-hier, donc je vous invite à regarder la vidéo d'avant-hier pour comprendre le jeu, parce que c'est un peu compliqué à expliquer. En gros, on est dans un bureau et on fait ce qu'on veut. Alors, voilà, c'est comme ça. Et il y a cette voix qui... Comment dire, qui nous guide, et qui nous a guidé la première fois vers un centre de contrôle de la pensée. Et la deuxième fois, on l'a pas du tout écouté pour tomber dans un bêta-test. Alors la voix est un peu désespérée, qu'on ne fasse pas ce qu'elle voulait qu'on fasse. Du coup, on va la réécouter un petit peu. Et le Broom Closet. Alors, Akadiel, qui est avec moi en live, qui est tout à l'heure, nous a parlé du Broom Closet. Et on va aller dans le Broom Closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here.
Stanley rentre dans le plaquet, il n'y avait rien, je sais pas, et continue. Parce qu'il n'y avait rien dedans, il quitta et rien, je sais pas. Ok, je suis dedans, c'est bon. Qu'est-ce que je fais, chef?
Bah tu laisses faire le temps.
Pas de chemin, c'est juste un placard vide. Non, il n'est pas vide, il y a plein de choses. MacGyver serait heureux ici.
Et honnêtement, tu peux comprendre ce narrateur et en tant que maître du jeu, ce qu'il va dire est rempli de...
C'est ce que je me disais, ouais.
He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing?
Je fais ce que je veux.
Please offer me some explanation here.
Tu n'es pas mon maître.
Confused.
Anarchie. Égal indépendant.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever.
J'aime beaucoup quand il dit ce placard baleine n'était pas dans l'histoire, j'ai même pas pensé à le décrire.
Mais voilà, ça.
Un MJ peut carrément penser ça, effectivement.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
J'espère que ça t'as vu comment ça inquiète.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really stupid.
Alors ça c'est méchant par contre.
Elle reste le plus longtemps possible.
Alors ça c'est vraiment méchant.
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
C'est encore plus méchant la voix, hein?
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system.
Mais le jour n'est pas mort, je suis ici.
Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone
nearby,
so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose.
Ah non.
Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. He or she has fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability.
Il est tombé en proie à plusieurs de vos vulnérabilités psychologiques. Et ordonner à un autre humain de prendre sa place. Tout en étant sûr que le remplaçant a une compréhension de base de jeux vidéo et c'est une narration. Ferme cette porte. Non, je reste dans le placard, hein. Tu vas faire quoi?
Non, là s'il a dit de prendre le truc à un autre humain, tu peux y aller. Après, tu peux ressortir du placard.
Ah, joueur 2, bienvenue à bord.
Voilà.
J'adore.
Ceci étant dit, le placard est pas fermé.
You too.
Toi aussi, incroyable.
I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's
En
a
restant longtemps, il y a
monkey
des trucs ou
nearby
pas?
who can hand the controls
Je
to.
crois pas.
The fish, fungus.
Je vais rester
Look,
2 minutes
you
dedans
can
après.
hammer out
Mais...
the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting
il
for
se
when
peut.
you're ready to pick up the story again.
En fait, tu joues vraiment avec le narrateur, quoi.
C'est ça qui est là.
Bon, est-ce que je monte ou est-ce que je
Coming to a
descends?
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Comment c'est ce que tu... Ah, monte.
Ouais, je sais que je monte. J'ai envie de jouer avec les boutons, en fait.
Bah... Honnêtement... T'as une fin, là. Éventuellement, garde-la peut-être pour la dernière.
Aller en bas?
Non, pas aller en bas.
Avec les boutons?
Non, pas avec les boutons.
Ben, salle de bain?
Pas un seul bain. C'est en fait... Tu te souviens de ce chemin avec marqué Escape?
Oui. Faut garder ça pour la fin?
Regarde tout ça pour la fin, ouais.
Ah, ok. Bon, je vais dans la salle de bain du patron. Money in the morning, money in the evening, money of breakfast, money please.
Ah, je suis perdu. Ah si, ok, c'est bon, je suis là.
Je suis dans la salle de bain du patron et je vais aux chiottes. Non, je vais pas. J'ai pas regardé aux chiottes. Ça fait encore des bruits de clavier quand je clique sur. C'est arrivé de fermer le clavier. C'est dévié, fermer le clavier. C'est plante verte, fermer le clavier.
Tout un clavier dans le jeu.
J'ai cliqué sur le tableau et la porte s'est ouverte. Voilà, allons entrer ce code secret avant qu'on me le dise.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator
Le New
talk.
Age.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments
Ah,
with
de la
some
musique
calming
New Age.
music.
Oui, oui.
Narrateur, faut continuer s'il vous plaît.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
On y va. Donc on prend l'ascenseur. Hop. Mais le gobelet de l'arrêt c'est le meilleur Kyrex, on le sait. Hop. Alors, on va aller faire mémuse avec les boutons. Vous êtes d'accord? On va peut-être déclencher une fusion atomique.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Allez, on rush le jeu en speedrun.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Et du coup, est-ce que par exemple, quand on lui désobéit une fois qu'on revient sur la bonne route après, est-ce que c'est encore des fins différentes ou pas ça?
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
T'as moyen de
bore the
revenir
number of an
au...
employee in the building,
à la bonne fin.
Stanley's co-workers, the lives of so many individuals.
Est-ce que c'est des fins différentes ou pas?
images on a screen,
Alors,
and
t'as un moyen...
Stanley
Soit tu te retrouves à un point qui est totalement différent,
where freedom meant nothing.
soit tu peux te retrouver effectivement au même point.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
C'est incroyable.
Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No.
To the moon.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in
Test.
someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof.
Ok, narrateur, on va jouer.
Controls.
On va cliquer sur ce gros bouton vert.
emotions,
Victor finit par rien.
happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and
Ah, là, si
commanded
j'appuie, je
from
pense que ça
this
ne fera rien, en
one
fait.
place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Les petits boutons, faudrait les marrons. Hein. Ok, et si j'appuie sur le gros bouton 1, il se passe quoi? 2. J'ai vu le 3 par là. Quand ça fait des petits bruits bizarres quand j'appuie sur les boutons. J'ai vu le 5 par là-bas. Bon, ce qui est pas 6 j'ai l'impression, donc il y a une sortie par là. Fermé avec les. On va aller activer la machine. On va voir ce qui se passe. Je pourrais te couper, mais.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated,
ah, je savais bien qu'il y a du nucléaire.
Est-ce que t'as suivi les flèches, toi?
Quelle flèche?
Eliminating the entire cosmic. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it.
Putain, j'ai 2 minutes pour appuyer sur le bouton, bordel, vite! C'est toi le narrateur, c'est pas le narrateur.
More time to talk about you,
ah,
about me.
Cette pression.
What all this means, I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your coworkers are.
Il a activé une bombe nucléaire.
Ah oui. Techniquement parlant, c'est toi qui l'as activé.
Non, c'est faux. C'est très bien qu'il a triché. C'est foutu. Eh? Mais ça fait rien quand j'appuie sur les boutons.
Bah, c'est là la question en fait. Est-ce que c'est possible de faire quelque chose une fois que t'arrives à ce point-là? J'en ai aucune idée. J'ai déjà arrivé plusieurs fois, j'ai jamais réussi.
Incorrect. Bouton rouge, quoi.
T'as peut-être une combinaison à rentrer, mais je sais pas.
Bouton 2, si, j'ai trouvé.
I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go around will be even better. My goodness.
Incorrect. C'est quoi ça comme chiffre? Mais c'est un bouton vert. Ça veut rien dire les boutons verts. Bouton vert, bouton vert. Ah bordel. Bouton vert là. Charge. Il y a un truc qui charge. Bouton vert, ici. Incorrect. Bouton 3, ok. Il reste combien de temps? Quoi? Ça 2 minutes? Ok.
running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think
Puis le
that?
narrateur qui se fout de ta gueule en disant exactement ce que tu fais, ce que tu
One
penses.
solved? Do you have any idea what
Voltage
your
control,
purpose
presse
in this
indiqué,
is?
tout son. Ah bordel, il a fait péter la console, elle fait
You're
chier.
in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a
Triste, hein.
catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a
Un gros
challenge.
bouton jaune.
It's a tragedy.
Incorrect,
You
bouton 1.
wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't.
Tu voulais dominer le monde,
Take a look at the
mais je vais le détruire avant.
That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until
putain, c'est horrible.
and then nothing. No ending here.
J'ai
Just
utilisé le bouton
being
off.
blown to pieces.
La porte.
Will you cling desperately to your frail life?
Ah.
Or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke.
Putain, il y a tout qui
And
tremble.
believe me,
C'est le bordel. Ah.
your inevitable life from the
Un
moment
bouton
you
violet là.
get in
Des
until
boutons violets ici
I
aussi.
say happily ever after.
Putain, la violence. On est vraiment mort. Putain, oui, on est vraiment mort. Salaud. Attends, j'ai regardé ce qu'il y a comme succès quand même. Regardez ce qu'il y a comme succès, comme ça on va pouvoir voir un peu ce qu'on peut faire dans le jeu.
Non, c'est peut-être pas des masses.
Il y en a beaucoup de succès ou pas?
Non.
Ça va peut-être.
Toutes les fins t'en filent pas en plus.
Ah, ça je l'ai pas eu là par exemple.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter
Alors du
of
coup, c'est ce qu'on
time.
peut faire encore maintenant. On peut descendre au lieu de monter voir le bureau du boss. Ah, merci.
When
prend à
Stanley
gauche
came to a
ici.
set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Hop. Tac, salle de réunion. C'est
Yet
bon,
there was
check.
not a single
Continue.
person here either. Feeling a wave
prend à
of
droite.
disbelief, Stanley decided to go
prend à
up to his
droite.
boss's office.
On évite le
Hoping
balai.
he might find an
Et
answer
on arrive
by
dans
coming
l'escalier.
to a staircase. Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Et non, je descends. Vers la chaudière.
But
Ouais.
Stanley just couldn't do it.
Non,
He
je ne pouvais pas le
considered the
faire.
possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that.
Exactement.
And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he
Pourquoi il
went?
pouvait pas voir ses pieds quand il regardait
And
le
for
sol?
that matter,
Oh putain.
these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming!
I'm dreaming!
This is all a dream.
It's a dream!
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally
That
found an
réponse.
answer, an explanation. His
je
co-workers
rêve.
weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself,
T'es allé en bas des escaliers,
"Suppose
c'est
I'll
ça?
wake up
Ouais,
soon.
je suis dans le garage
Go
toujours.
back to my
Elle est un peu
boring
triste, cette
real-life
fin.
job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid." So, he imagined himself flying and began to
Putain, je
gently
vole.
float above the ground.
Je vole!
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head?
Pourquoi y a une voix dans ma tête qui dit tout ce que je fais, ce que je pense? Effectivement.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's
Je suis en train de
describing
rêver à un
my
propos
thoughts.
d'une voix qui décrit en train de penser à propos de comment elle décrit mes pensées.
And wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams. The truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream.
Je suis
Did
bloqué.
the voice not see him
Yeah.
float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
J'ai qu'à pas me suicider.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job.
Il est marié en plus.
All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal.
Il a toute la tragédie.
I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Putain. Il est relégé dans le même bureau.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss.
C'est horrible. Sortez-moi d'ici, putain.
Please, just
Ah non, elle est
someone
sale.
tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Putain, c'est horrible.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
C'est pas mal
Mariella
horrible.
woke
Oui.
up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered
C'est
her
l'histoire de
belongings,
Mariella.
and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town,
Effondré
talking and
mort sur le
screaming
trottoir,
to
carrément.
himself, and then collapsed
Oui.
dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance,
C'est
for
assez
just
violent.
a few brief moments, she considered the strange
The
man.
fuck.
He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better.
Voir cet homme la rendait mieux. Merci qu'il y avait une réunion aujourd'hui.
The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life.
C'est horrible comme
She
fin,
had
putain.
no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Putain. C'est horrible.
Et oui.
On sait même pas pourquoi il est mort en fait. Pauvre Stanley.